everybody. Good morning, or whenever you're watching this. We're back at it again with Black Nerd Talk.
Oh,
I'm Bonbon623, and I'm with my co-host.
Dre Day every day.
And today we're going to be talking about our top five YouTubers that we like to watch.
YouTubers, content creators, whatever you want to call
There we go.
them. Yeah.
Well, all of
We,
mine are from YouTube anyway.
yeah, mine too,
Okay.
because I don't consume like if it's a TikTok or a Instagram. I'm not gonna say it's not content creation, but it's like if I'm not sitting down watching your videos and they're not longer than like a 7 minutes, it's like I'm that's just something in passing. Like I sit down and watch these videos of the people that I'm about to name at least.
Mm. Mhm.
Yeah. So I guess we can start at five and go all the way up to one. Do you have yours in any particular order, or you just kind of?
I guess I do. I
Mm,
suppose, yeah.
okay. Would you like to go first? Would you like me to go first?
So my number five spot is kind of tied, I guess.
Uh, okay.
So I like watching this girl called Kenny JD.
Kenny JB. Okay.
And when I first started watching her, she's a black girl who
Hmm.
studied in Korea. I think she went to university there, so she's fluent in Korean, and she used to tell us like Korean story times of like when she went to the club and stuff, and like just interesting things that happened to her. And the
Hmm.
interesting thing about her is I think she's like over 6 foot or what have you. And so she was just like a little bit of an anomaly in Korea. So like a lot of interesting things would happen to her. But now she's kind of rebranded herself to talk about bad movies while she puts her makeup on. And some of the movies she comes across are just fascinating, but I'm rooting for everybody black here. And then I also like the TMG podcast, so the Tiny Meat Gang with Noel Miller and Cody Ko.
I haven't heard of either of them.
Yeah, they're great. They're
Yeah.
very funny.
Okay. So with the first lady, you said that she went through a rebrand in terms of her content.
Mhm.
How do you feel about that? Because I've seen it, but I haven't had anyone that I follow do like a complete rebrand. Is it something where it's like, oh, I liked it better when you did this, or did was she rebrand too? You like that better, or
Mm,
you like her personality to the point to where it doesn't matter?
I
Is
think
it?
it's more the latter because I think she got to a point to where she told all her stories and then there wasn't
Mhm.
really much else. And so she kind of just wanted to get into something else. And she was starting to get like real big into skincare and makeup while she was telling those stories. So it all kind of flowed. And then since
Right.
I'm big into Korean skincare and so was she, that's where I started to learn a bit more about it and whatnot. So
Got you.
after that, I just kind of just rocked with her because I like her brand as a person. So whatever she's talking about, if it's something I'm interested in, then I'm gonna rock with it. And I
Okay.
also like the idea of people expanding and then talking about what other things that interest them because after a while, I mean, sometimes you say all you can say on a topic.
Right. That's kind of why, like, when I used to make my first YouTube channel, I used to speak about firearms, and then I got to a point to where I couldn't acquire any new firearms to talk about, and my channel wasn't big enough to barter popular. Like, I couldn't go to a gun store and say, "Hey, with my popularity, I could send you a lot of more customers if you can let me review this gun for free."
Mhm.
Type of. So I didn't have that. So it's like I just kind of had to stop talking about it. Then when I came back, I'm like, well, this nerd stuff is eternally relevant. So that's ultimately how I ended up in the lane I ended up in.
And I think it's fair to give people space to move and change and stuff because you're not
Right,
one-dimensional beings.
right. It's so I think it depends on kind of what a person looks for. Cause like if you're dealing with somebody in a social media space, if you look at it like social media, and I think that's more where the disconnect probably lies. If you look at it like social media, like I'm just kind of here for what this person has.
Mhm.
That's one thing. But then some people will say, okay, well, I look to this person for this particular expertise in this particular field, and they may rebrand to something that I'm not I already know things about or not necessarily interested in. That can be where the disconnect comes from. But me personally, I think that if I like the way you talk about something, I'm probably gonna like anything because I like to just hear people speak intelligently about things that they're passionate about,
Mhm.
which is ultimately my thing. I want to hear what you're passionate about and not necessarily something that you're script writing, you
Yeah.
know. In these days you can have an AI write your script and you just reading it off paper, you know.
Mhm.
But so my number five, I think these is kind of hard to quantify, but I'm gonna just put I'm gonna put these in order based on how much I watch their videos and not so much my passion for said topic.
Mhm.
But his page's name is Aperture. It's Aperture Thinking, but I think he's shortened it to Aperture to make it easier. And he's one of those creators that doesn't. He never puts himself in front of the camera. He makes a lot of philosophical videos about life, different things like, are you an he said, are you a nihilist? What it's like to play God. Just a lot of concepts that people delve into in the regular world, some thoughts that you may have had. And what I like about him is he really in depth and kind of explains possible realities of like if he was to make a video about if you completely consume yourself in hate, he'll start at a beginning point and create an entire timeline of potential things based. It's a lot of cause and effect. It's a lot of it. I could tell that he has a real sciencey type of brain, which is kind of like how I look at things. But I watch his videos not on a day to day basis, but when I see one of those topics that kind of catches my, let me sit down and watch this. And he makes anywhere from the short formats to like 11, 12 minute, 15-minute videos, all the way up to 2 hours. That's
Mhm.
another thing too. I think it's pretty cool where it's like you have a person who makes um short format and long format because you got two different types of consumers. Because I have friends that will say that the videos that me and you make that are like too long in terms of it being 30 minutes if it were shorter. And I'm like, well, we're not making 2 hour videos, which would be long for me, but I guess long for this person and long for another person is different. Just like shorts. Just like me, I can't consume TikTok. Like those 3 minute, I think, well, those videos 3 minutes.
Up to, I think they can be up to
That's
10
a bit,
minutes
yeah. It's
long.
like it's like for me, I'm not into watching 3 minute video after 3 minute video. Like certain topics, I'll take 3 minutes, but if it's another topic, I want a 10, 15, 20, 30 minute, or just depending on how long I want it to feel fully covered. And I think Aperture, he does both sides depending on what you prefer. And that's even if you're into consuming deep thinking philosophical content in your free time.
That
So
also
yeah,
depends on how you consume your media
right,
and what kind of time you're working with. Because me, I can put it on in the background and I can listen to it while I'm cooking or cleaning or doing my billing and whatnot, and that's fine. But some people that
right,
have like passing period or whatever the case
right,
may be, lunch.
right. And I guess another thing for me to put out there, I've said it in other videos, but just to preface this video, I don't watch any TV at all. So for me, YouTube is my so like that show that a person's probably binge watching 30-minute, 45-minute episodes of. I'm probably watching a YouTube video that's 45, 1 hour, 2 hours, in full, you know.
Mhm.
There's actually a page called Hip Hop Universe that I recently got into because he just covered the Ice Cube and Tupac beef, which I wasn't aware about, but he covered the Keefy D, Puffy, Tupac murder. And that's like a 4 hour video.
Mhm.
Then he also covered the Tupac quad studio shooting. He covered Jay Z and I don't know if it's Fat Joe or Big Puns. He kind of covers a lot of underground hip hop back and forth that didn't really get well. They had some have been expounded on, and some haven't been expounded on. He covered 50 Cent story with the nine shots and stuff like that. So he's he was making music reviews and then he transitioned into those deep dive. I think I like the deep dive coverage is better than his music reviews
Yeah.
because it's long and in depth. But that's just throwing that out there.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to find the channel that I was at, but it was kind of like yours where he was doing the deep dives, except,
Mhm.
and I can't remember what his name is. I might put it in here later on when I find it, but he did a deep dive on like the gangs on O Block. And when it came
Oh
to
yeah,
uh
yeah. I'm currently watching those Chicago gang war from 2011 up to 2020, which kind of ended around the FBG Duck murder.
yeah, yeah.
Are
And
you
I
talking about
watched one with the what's the dude's name? The one with the dreads. Well, they all have dreads. Hold on.
oh the big guy with dreads, FBG Duck?
No, the one that killed him or had him
King Von.
allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Yes, King Von. I watched that whole thing, and that was like two
Well,
hours or so. And when I tell you, like normally I wouldn't sit down and watch a video that long because then I feel like I'm watching a movie. But the way that I
right.
was hooked, how much information these people get,
Yes.
and
So
just
I
to know
think
that
you
this is real life for people, like, oh
would
my God.
would by chance his name be Trap Lord Ross?
Yes. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. I like Trap Lord Ross. He looks like Harry Potter.
So this little English boy across the
Yeah,
pond
yeah, yeah.
got
Knows more
all
about what's
his
going on.
information together.
Yeah, knows more about American soil than than us here.
I feel like I know so much about 63rd, 64th, and 65th
Right,
now.
right. It's the STL, EBT, Wick City. You know
Jesus.
which side of the BDs, which side of the GDs. Like it's like,
I'm
bruh.
like,
Yeah. I like Trap Lil Ross.
it's a hood history lesson.
Right.
It's it's heartbreaking but fascinating too.
Yeah, it's fascinating when you find out that they're all of the deaths are these from 15, 14 to 21,
Hmm.
and then I think that from in that time period I mentioned, well over 20 people were killed.
Hmm.
It's like they're all kids, and it's just
It's
crazy.
devastating.
Yeah. But yeah, hold on. What's the number four? I think we
Number
took
four.
over chunk of time. Yeah, we got number four.
Okay, Matt Pat. So he has game theory, film theory, food theory, and style theory. So
Oh,
he
okay.
started with game theory, where he would break down all kinds of different games, like is Mario a psychopath? Is Zelda actually dead? All of these
Oh, I
interesting
gotta watch.
things.
I gotta watch some of that guy.
Oh my gosh. And then he got so big that he started branding out. So he branded out into film theory, where he started making theories about films and animes and things like that. And then he branched off
Right.
into food theory, where he was talking about which hamburger has, or which fast food place has the best hamburger, which one actually serves the biggest fries and the most bang for your buck or whatever. And then there's
Right.
style theory, where he just launched that, I think, at the end of last year, where he's talking
Mhm.
about which colors actually go with your undertone. Do you actually look better in silver or gold jewelry or both? And it's just
Oh,
like fascinating. I
oh, that
love that
sounds like
guy.
it was up.
It's
Yeah.
great. And he's like
Yeah.
he's very much a theater kid, and he talks and
Hmm.
acts like it, which is so funny because every time he gets so into it, and me and my husband look at each other and we're like, he is such a nerd, but we be hooked. we be hooked because he's just enigmatic.
Yeah, I think yeah, enigmatic is yeah, that's the correct way to say it.
He's great. I love him.
I got number four. I got Hollow. You know the guy I sent you.
Mm,
And he's the streamer. And like I said, I found him based on him playing horror games.
mhm,
And you know, like he's one of those guys who's legit scared shitless of horror games, but and I don't, and it's kind of like it's his bread and butter because I think people are there to see his reactions to like when something pops up and he will legit scream, his eyes will close.
mhm,
It's just so hilarious. But what got me watching him consistently is that I noticed that because I'm more of a game player,
mhm,
but the fact that he will play, he's not limited to console, so he'll play something on maybe a PlayStation or maybe Xbox, but also PC. And maybe the fact that he plays a lot of those short form horror games that are like when Hideo Kojima made PT back in 2014 for Silent Hills that never released. That demo created an entire subgenre of short form, enclosed space horror titles, walking simulators, so to speak. You're in haunted houses. So, like, I like watching those horror games out of that subgenre, and he plays a lot of those. And, but because I don't have a PC, and it's just hilarious. It's like it's hilarious to watch, but at the same time, I'd be rooting for him because it's like this is a guy going into his fear. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's actively playing through games that it's like, man, I hate playing these. So it's kind of a two-side double whammy as to why I like it. Like it's like I'm watching it to laugh, but at the same time, it's like, dang, it's a proud moment. Like he's really here's another one, here's another one, here's another one. So he's actively working on his fear at the same time. So it's kind of cool to see that in action.
mhm.
Yeah.
Number three
Um,
for me is Markiplier. I love him forever.
I
That's
love
period.
Markiplier. Markiplier and The Rock probably have the best voice delivery of any human being. Like strong, powerful, demanding style of voices. And it's like these voices need to be on radio shows or game shows or like his voice is just amazing in terms of like just the like I don't know why well his YouTube is successful, but if he didn't have a YouTube, he would just have to be someone's radio host, like just that type of voice. And yeah. Yeah,
Hmm.
he's hilarious too. I like when he's kind of like Hollow with the scary games too.
A little bit, a
But
little bit. He be getting got sometimes, but I
yeah.
don't think he's as scared
Oh no.
as Hollow.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I do like Markiplier. My number three is Wire Testers, and he started as a page named Nightwing 2303, and he reviews shoes. Now, me personally, I'm a sneakerhead, which is something that I don't talk about on my YouTube. But I'm a big sneakerhead, and I'm in the sneaker technology. So basically, um, he'll go through a shoe. If a shoe comes out, he'd be like, okay, well, you know, this shoe has it includes engineered mesh on the upper, Flyknit, whether it's Nike Zoom Air, whether it's uh Lunalon, the type of cushioning systems, carbon fiber, and he's a basketball player. He breaks the shoes down in terms of like if you're going to play basketball in these, this is what to expect. This material, if you're if you're a big man playing down low that don't make a lot of cuts, maybe this shoe works for you. But if you're a person who likes to play on a perimeter and you like dribbling, you want something that can let your foot cut. So he breaks down the shoe technologies that are in shoes, and then with the retro sneakers, he kind of breaks down the history. So he's just kind of like a sneakerhead historian to a degree, and but a sneaker science too because he's current he'll break down when they made a retro, if they changed the materials from the 90s when it first released. So I watch all his videos. And big like I said, because I'm a big time sneakerhead and I'm big on sneaker technology. So yeah, I've been watching him since Nightwing 2303, but he's rebranded into Wear Testers. And
Mhm.
he has a couple other people that help him, but he still leads the charge with it.
Mhm.
So yeah.
My number two is Corey Kenshin.
I like Corey. I
He's
like
missing in
Corey.
action again right now. He's on another hiatus, but you know, he deserves. Go ahead, take a break and rest.
I legit get it. Cause, technically I'm like on a hiatus from my single format videos. And it's like sometimes life just be life and it's like I
Hmm.
want to make this video, I want to do this, but I just want to lay down or I just want
Hmm.
to so but he's super hilarious, super I like his page. And
Hmm.
I got a friend whose son loves to watch him, and his son kind of gets discouraged when he goes on hiatus. And she explains to him how he's a person, and it's like how life can get. But when you're a kid, you don't understand like the pressure
Yeah.
life can put on you. So,
Well, the
so
last
yeah,
time he came back for a brief moment, he was telling us how he's the one that has to take care of his family, and anytime anything happens, people
right,
come to him.
right, yeah, and
And
see, and
it's
then
and it's interesting because I think he's my age, right? He might even be just a little bit younger, but we might be the same age. So it's interesting being younger 30s and being the one that your entire family goes to. Like
right,
that's a different kind of stress that I'm just not interested in.
right, and that's just on some other like just doing that and then being like the black man in this country is like he's wearing all of that
Hmm.
coupled with having a successful YouTube channel. So yeah, I can see how he would go on a hiatus because of how much he's possibly dealing with in his real life
Yeah.
and then taking care of his family, then trying to do the YouTube and just how things can be crashing into each other. But I
On
do, I
top
do,
of
I
his
love
branding too, where he's so like family and kid friendly, so he can't
right,
afford to like lose it and even curse because this man don't never curse, so he can't
right,
afford to like break character or whatever.
right.
Which I don't even
So
think
it's
he's breaking character. I think he's legit like that, but it's just like
right,
since his audience is mostly kids, you have to keep
mhm,
it together on camera, and
right,
that's a lot. That's a lot to ask anybody.
right, right. Yeah, that's cool. I like Kenshin a lot.
Hmm.
Uh, my number two is Young Yeah. And Young Yeah is a I don't want to I'm not good with distinguishing nationalities, but he likes I I found him because he likes Metal Gear Solid and Zelda. Those are two of his favorite game franchises. We both share the same love for Hideo Kojima. And he's kind of like just a gaming news reporter. I've seen some people say that he's a copy and paste page, but I don't technically agree. He's no different than a reaction channel. You know those channels where they'll play a video and they're reacting to it in real time.
Hmm.
I feel like he does this, but he doesn't do it like that. He'll take an article that reported, like, say for instance, when like the Insomniac breach, he'll take that headline and then he'll expound on it and he'll go into details that with people like and I think that for me, it's a really good way to kind of keep up with gaming news as opposed to going and looking through all of these different Google files or, to see it. Because the, and the fact that this video format is more to get input on it as opposed to just kind of reading it. I like Young Yeah a lot, and he also reacts live to gaming awards, and with his favorite games, he'll do game reviews. So he has a bit of a hybrid channel,
Hmm.
but he doesn't review everything, but he reviews like big releases that he's excited about. So the God of Wars, the Death Strandings, the Horizons, he'll review those. So yeah, he has like a hybrid, but it's mostly gaming. related, gaming news and reviews, and he's also a voice actor too. That's pretty cool to see that that he has that. He has a bunch of toys behind him. It's almost a bit of kind of what made me want to do my videos in front of my toys and stuff. Just give some sort of background,
Mm,
but I still kind of like that homely feel. It's like, hey, this is what it would be like to talk to me in real life. So I'm not going for the super professional. Oh, this looks like it could be on a TV. Like, no, I want it to still feel like, hey, you're talking to me in real time.
hmm.
Yeah. But the moment of truth, we got the number one YouTuber or content creator. Who do you got on your list? Is it a tie or is it a individual?
It's an individual. So for me, it's Berleezy. That's
I
baby. That's
Yeah, I like
baby.
man. Berleezy is going to forever be legendary for that video
I love
where they
him.
was showing that camera panning up from the leg. That was kind of bad though.
It was
Who was that
Jack.
from? Got up there and it was Jax. And he look, the fact that he still uploaded it, he could have
Mhm.
scrapped. I said, "You're a legend for letting that." The shorty
I
kind of
love
bad.
him.
Who was that? Frost?
Berlin is that boy. I love him bad. I
Yeah,
love seeing how far he's come. And now he's
yeah.
got the players ball. And his friendship with his little friend group is so beautiful. I love him.
It's cool to see these content creators are actually voicing characters in these little indie games. I kind of
Hmm.
like that little thing because did you watch? Did I send? I think I told you about that, but there's a video game. There is a indie game that actually used Berleezy in the game, and he
Hmm.
had a bar. He had a bar in there,
Yeah.
and Hollow was playing it actually. And he was like, he pulled up to the bar, and it was like Beer Leezy, and I'm like, this is a little bit too. And you go inside and you look at the bartender and it's Berleezy's face. I said, that's just super cool. And it also had a gang
Exactly.
of other content creators, but I only knew Berleezy, and Hollow was just kind of smiling because he recognized them. And he was like, oh, this is pretty cool how they used the. But yeah, I do like Berleezy a lot. He
Mm,
plays some horror games too. Yeah,
seriously.
I watched him do the Fears to Fathom.
Mm,
I watched his version. I watched so many versions of people playing Fears to Fathom. I just love to see people react to those particular jump scares.
hmm.
Matter of fact, Corey Kenson, I think that he said one of those Fears to Fathoms, it just creeped him out so much because I believe he said he had an actual break in happen.
Hmm.
So he was like, that just kind of hit a little different from him, just to kind of go back around about that. But the number one YouTuber for me that I consume the most is his name is Max Dirac or Maxderrat,
Hmm.
and he's basically he's a video gamer, and he says, I believe he says he has autism, and I believe that he says that he has ADHD. I don't know, but he definitely says he has autism. So he really does like super deep dives on video game storyline. The he will he breaks down the story, but he will break down kind of like the real life application of some of the things and the tones that are in the games. Like he breaks down why I actually play games because I know a lot of people play games as an escape, but me, I play video games as a companion piece to my reality. So I'm like, it's like looking at the story of Metal Gear Solid. He also one of his most popular videos is called "The Most Profound Moment in Gaming," and he breaks down that last codec conversation in the Metal Gear Solid 2 and how they're talking about um, AIs and people spreading junk data in the digital age. And he broke down how the modern day world like works with, like Well, for further context, Metal Gear Solid 2 was set in the years 2007 to 2009, but the game released in 2001. But the subject matter is relevant to 2023. And so he actually breaks it down and points out um how people spread junk data, talking about like the media takeouts and stuff like that, and just brings the real world relevance of what the games are talking about, and just kind of puts it right in front of you in case you couldn't make the correlation in real time. So that's
Mhm.
why I love Max Durat's channel. He's super in depth, super intelligent, super detailed, and I don't I think that he knows how to take biases out, and but he can express his biases, but knows how to take them out in terms of like the practicality of what he's talking about, and he can show you just the actual usefulness of gaming.
Mhm.
Because you know me, I'm on the forefront for preaching for games as a utility, as a education piece, because I really believe truly in my heart that gaming is the best educator you can use. And the reason why I say this is because you can sit this kid in the classroom and put them in front of books, and they may be engaged, they may not be. But you can take that same subject matter and put it in an interesting game and put it in front of this kid. It's a good chance they're going to learn from that game because they want to play it. It's fun, and they're intaking the information. You know, so I just feel like gaming is just such a great educational tool,
Mhm.
and that's kind of what I owe to gaming. Like why I love it so much. It's taught me so much because I wasn't learning a lot of this stuff in school. You know, when we had our school videos, maybe someone who went to a prestigious school like you, where they probably cared about the children more. But me, I grew up in the hood, and they probably was just trying to get a check. You
Mhm.
know, I didn't learn the things that I learned in school that I learned in gaming.
Mhm.
So yeah, I like Max Durat because he really good does a great job of pointing out games, their practicality, and which games you can learn from, which games are profound, and so on and so forth.
Mhm.
But yeah,
All right, everyone. That is our top five content creators.
do you have any honorable mentions, or did you?
So many, but I mean,
You're just gonna
we
leave it
just,
as it
yeah, I
is.
just went ahead and narrowed it down.
Yeah, YouTube is like I said, YouTube the reason I don't gotta watch TV.
Yeah, that's basically what I watched.
Yeah, YouTube and if I'm not YouTube and I'm gaming, so
All
sweet. I
right,
don't want
this
to.
will be the last video of 2023.
Yeah, and we want you guys to go out and have a great time with your families, whether you believe in holidays or whatnot. Just use it as I always look at it as a great time to spend time with family
Mhm.
and just get together and just celebrate that love and bring in the new year with the people you care about the most and family. You may not have a bloodline family, but the connections you've built because everybody's situation is so drastically different. And
Mhm.
spend the holidays with the people that mean the most to you, and just kind of get something out of it because we just kind of live in a time where people are want to be the Grinches, and it's like, oh, I hate the holidays. It's like, I get it, but you can also take a positive out of, we know we're in the matrix, but find a way to enjoy it as opposed to finding a way to be upset for no reason, you
Mhm.
know. Sweet. So hope you guys enjoy it and hope you guys have a great Christmas holiday or family day. Great New Year. Hope your New Year's resolutions come true and hope you get everything you want for Christmas if you got a list.
Yes, we'll see
Yeah.
you in 2024.
2024, whenever that will be.
Bye.
Goodbye.